But I also talk about my love story for Compton. And my love story starts because I was born and raised in Compton, 1013 South Pearl, which is right near the college. And so my relationship goes back to Compton, dates back to the fall of 1999, where I actually did my first program for Compton Unified School District in regards to creating a college board culture, work with the local high schools. And I truly believe that every student is a success story. And I also am proud to talk about June 7th, right? As Compton College history. June 7th, Compton College became accredited. June 7th, 2018. June 7th, 2018, Compton College had its first commission ceremony. June 7th, 2019, the partnership with Compton College terminates at 11:59 p.m. We're all a part of history, so think about that, right? We're all a part of history as relates to a college where Compton College accreditation was revoked. And now you are a part of the success story of this institution. And you can share that for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years about Compton College, and you were a part of it. That's pretty cool, right? That's May 1st, 2019, Michelle Obama, former First Lady, wore Compton College gear. And when I think about that day, and I think about motivation, what motivates me, look at this picture, no matter what we're going through every day, to see someone put on that Compton College shirt on a national event, that right there was the moment where I knew that we have arrived again. And we are a successful institution where the former First Lady wore our shirt. And I was at a conference, and everyone at the conference kept saying, Dr. Curry, did you see this? I was like, yeah, I saw it. And I was pushing sideways like it wasn't a big deal, but it was, right? So, but they kept saying about the shirt, and I was like, it was great. They was like, how did it happen for Compton and it happened for other colleges? Sometimes it's bigger than us in the room. Just think about that. Our success at Compton College has been because of the work that we do, but also because of a higher being. And because sometimes things happen for good people, it does happen. And the work that we have been doing at Compton College and your success, this is why this happened. And for the next 10 to 20, 30 years, you can talk about the former First Lady wore our Compton College gear. Anytime. So if you have a bad day, and when I have a bad day, guess what I do? I go to www.compton.edu to see that picture. Because nothing else could just stop that from making me proud. So when I do interviews for people and I talk about Compton and I want to hire someone, I always ask the question, please tell me about your non-resume you. So think about that for a second. What is your non-resume? So the first thing I would think about is the stuff that's on my resume. Yeah, I got a doctorate degree, I went to UC surgery, So talk about things that are not on your resume that you want to be proud of, right? And you want to tell people about. So for me, being a kid from Compton, and when I was in high school, I had a 1.6 GPA in the 9th grade, and still became a college president. I have a family, which you'll see a picture in a couple seconds. So think about what is your motivation? What motivates you to be successful? My motivation is my family, my students, my family, the students, and my community. I truly believe that the work that we're doing here at Compton College is important because this is how you change lives and how you change communities. And I have a drive, and I want to be successful, and I want to see other individuals be successful. That's my wife. I never bring her picture out too often. That's my wife and my son as part of my motivation. Oh, you can't see it? Go ahead, she's here. But also, too, whenever I see the bus drive by in Compton and there's different cities, when I'm driving by the bus, I've been on a bus a long time, but when I think about it, I always think about the RTD. Do you remember that? Yep. The old school people, right? That's an old school term, right? And we used to call it read, think, and do. I used to be on the bus all the time as a kid. I mean, all the time. I went to school in LA Unified School District, and it was always a school far. And I never understood why didn't I go to Emerson, or why didn't I go to Roosevelt Middle School in Compton, which was less than a block and a half away. I would have been to school in 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes if I wanted to walk slow. 5 minutes is just having a fun walk. But I had to catch the bus. So I was on the bus every single day. And when I was in the 6th grade, I had my own keys to the house because I was going to school by myself. But every day I was going to school on this bus. Going from Compton all the way to, where was it, Venice. I went to Venice High School, but I caught the bus, right? And when I was on the bus, what did I do? I think. I was thinking, I was reading the newspaper, I was learning stuff about Compton and other communities. But one of my motivations was I never want to get back on that bus, right? But I was motivated as a kid because I never want to get back on that bus. Because I used to always look at other cars and what type of cars people were driving who were not on the bus. So one of my motivations was I didn't want to be on a bus for the rest of my life. And that was one of my motivations. Then when I was in high school, you can't see this too well. I found this today, actually at my house. My mom keeps all my awards. I never keep my awards. I give it to my mom. I don't want to look at it because I want to stay focused and try to get other awards. So my mom gave me all my awards a couple months ago and left them in my house. So in my home office, I have a couple boxes of awards. And so I finally decided to go through it because I was working on a speech for the day. And so I found this certificate that I received when I was in the 12th grade, and I went to Sacramento for the first time, and I stayed at Sacramento State. It was a part of it's called Boy State, where you go learn about how the government works and how you lobby for legislation in Sacramento. Who would have thought 25 years later that this is a part of my job working in Sacramento? And this was the first certificate that I received. So last week I was in Sacramento doing lobbying for $20 million to help pay for students who are homeless, to provide funding for students. So one of my motivations when I was there last week to walk by the governor's office, I made sure to put a Compton College Michelle Obama shirt on top of the bed. So then people know that Compton College was there again. But the moral of that story, though, is that I did not know when I was in high school, going to Sacramento, that I would be back in Sacramento, walking the halls for real. Back then, it was a play, right? You go out there and you try to learn how to lobby, and you're an actor. But now, that's a part of my job. So one of the things I would tell you as you move forward in your career, sometimes you might have a practice, and you got to practice something over and over again. At one point in your career, it will become handy. And this is one of the situations where I learned about Sacramento. I learned about lobbying when I was 17 years old. And now, as a college president, that is something I have to do all the time. And it was all because of that practice, and I was able to learn the Sacramento, how to walk the halls. And when I was 17 years old, someone said to me, where the 2,000 rooms are at. I was like, I don't know. Now I know exactly the senators on this side, the senators on this side. You know where the names are at. You know exactly who you need to talk to. You need to understand that. You need to know the administrative assistants in each of these people's offices. If you know them well, they make sure that you're able to talk to your legislator. Also bring a shirt, bring some food, bring whatever it takes that you connect with those people to those meetings. But I try to do that as much as often as possible. So I found this today too. I never even knew I had it. How many people in this room are going to UC Syracuse next year? Please say at least one. Not one? Yes! So I found, when I got admitted to UC Syracuse, I found my certificate from UC Syracuse admissions. And I actually posted on social media this morning that I actually have a certificate where in March 1st, 1995, it showed I got admitted to UC Syracuse. Right? So I went to UC Syracuse. When I went to UC Syracuse, the one thing I did there was I created a program for African American students. And it was a program called Destination Higher Education. And it's the largest program recruitment activity for UC Syracuse for admitted African American students. And I created that program because they had a low number of African American students at UC Syracuse. Who would have thought that now in this job, one of my goals is creating new programs for students. So I learned how to do that when I was 19 years old, was creating programs. And this right here is my acceptance to graduate school. I found that too. My mom had everything. Right? I didn't keep none of this stuff. And this is a part of my graduation from UC Irvine where I got my doctorate degree. And the only reason why I got a doctorate degree is someone told me that you will never get some doors open for you in your career without a doctorate degree. And so my motivation was to receive a doctorate degree because I knew that would open new doors for me. And I will tell you, it's hard for me when people say Dr. Curry sometimes, I sometimes look at it like, who are they talking to? Right? But I got a doctorate degree because it opened doors for you, but also opened doors for different conversations you can have with certain individuals. Because for some reason, and I don't know what it is, Just because you have a doctorate degree, they think you're really smart. And they give you other opportunities. So I challenge you as you move forward to continue to move forward with your education. If you want to take a doctorate degree, please do that because it will open doors for you. So this is another part of my motivation that I've learned over the last couple, 12, 13 months. So I have lost 125 pounds. And so my motivation for losing weight was because of my son, because I wanted to make sure I stay alive for him, but also because of my job and my work. So I went to this gym called Camp Transformation, and I met this lady, her name is Marianne. She's 63 years old. Wow. Let me just tell you a story about this, right? 63 years old, she can do, I think it's 60 burpees within 5 minutes. If you know what burpees are, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? So the first day I met her when I went to my camp, she was like trying to figure out my name. Like, who's this lady? I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. But she was like, make sure you come back the next day. And then every day I came back, she's always like, make sure you come back the next day. So we go work out all the time. And so then she told me, she's like, you might want to consider doing a Spartan race. I was like, a Spartan race? What am I doing a Spartan race for? I'm going to run around. I'm going to pay somebody to go run around and hop on stuff, get all the money, but I'm paying for that. Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to do that to my body? She's like, it's fun. So I did my first Spartan race last September of 2018 with Marianne. It was my first one. And it was 4 miles. And I thought, let's see how it goes. This lady, 63 years old, way ahead of me doing everything. And I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So she motivated me to want to do better. So this past weekend, I did my 8th Spartan race, which was 13 miles in Big Bear. It took me 10 hours, and I was bruised. But these are all my medals. So I'm motivated by my family, by my accomplishments, by my colleagues, by my friends. They motivate me. The question is, what motivates you as you move forward? As we change Compton and the surrounding communities, and we change our community because of you, what is your success story going to look like? These pictures of these individuals are individuals who graduated from Compton College, who have transferred to four-year college universities, who want to be successful and continue to strive to be successful. But at the end of the day, we can't change our community unless you become successful. And you have to be our motivation. And tonight is your night. Tonight is your night when you can celebrate your success. You can tell your family and friends about your success and also about Compton College, but it's all about you. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy your success. Because you know what? Not too many other individuals who look like us are successful. And then on June 6th, at 5:30 p.m., at the football stadium, you know what that is, right? That's when you can wear that cap and gown and have all your family members there, and you be a part of the last graduation ceremony affiliated with El Camino Community College District, and a part of the success of Compton College. And you get to enjoy that moment. At the end of the day, you have to continue to motivate us as Compton College employees. So thank you very much for being here today. Continue to motivate us. Continue to be who you are, not only at Compton College, but also as part of our community. And also remember, when you leave this institution, you represent everyone that's in this room. So your success is our success.